married a guy named Ransom Blackmar. And he's in some history books because he was a minister and he went around western New York, northeast Ohio preaching. So Ransom Blackmar turns up in history searches as a person who was a minister. It's still loading. Okay, so here's Liza Bo Blackmar. So I made a page for her and I put her picture on it. And then I went about finding out, is there anybody who is a descendant of this lady? I got a picture of someone's great-great-great-grandmother. Someone would care about that.
Mhm.
Who? I gotta go forward in time and figure out who is her descendants. So, what's happening? It's so slow. There we go. Okay, so here's Liza Bo Blackmar. So it turns out she died pretty young, 42. Her husband married somebody else. But they had 3 children, and I started looking into the children. So here's one named Melodia Eliza Blackmar. Now I got lucky with this one because my great aunt Nina's will left money to Melodia Blackmar Jones and her sister, Mary Jackson. Do you think I'm going to be able to find a Mary Jackson or a Melodia Jones in Buffalo, New York? This is all I got to go on. So I do a Google search for Melodia Blackmar Jones. Turns out, Melodia Blackmar Jones married very well. And she married a guy named Joseph T. Jones in northwest Pennsylvania, who became an oil well guy. And he made money in oil, and then he bought a railroad, and he built a railroad that went from Pennsylvania to the Gulf of Mexico. And he became the founder of Gulfport, Mississippi. This is their mausoleum in Buffalo. He had some children. So here's Joseph T. Jones. I think I have a picture of him on here. But here's a bio on Captain Jones. Turns out someone wrote an entire book about him. I think I have the daughter in here too, Mary. I have not linked up the children. But it's this Blackmar family who's the ancestor of Ashley Winters. So as I went forward in time and started tracing all these Blackmars out, I found this Melodia Blackmar. I found a picture on the flash. It's on my flash drive. That's what I want. Go back. Interest. Okay, that's Melodia Blackmar Jones. And this is Joseph Thomas Jones. He's the husband of Melodia Blackmar. He's the oil baron railroad guy that founded Gulfport, Mississippi. He has a statue. There's a statue of him in bronze in the park in Gulfport, Mississippi.
That was your Romanzo.
Yeah, you saw Romanzo. Okay. There's Romanzo above. Civil War drummer posing with his old GAR Metal, yeah. So I went and met his great-granddaughter on a trip to Chicago, and she let me take a picture of this. I got a picture of the drum. They have the drum.
Wow,
Cool.
very cool.
Yeah. So I was able to start with the census at the top, start going forward in time using books. Once you get into the 1850s, you can start to trace the family and build your tree. Once you get into 1940, you can find living people, obituaries, news stories, strange names, look them up, and follow the leads where they go, and then make friends. And by doing that, I built we looked yesterday, the descendants of Alexander Bow that I have traced in my family tree. It was about 60 names on a page, 251 pages. It was 15,000 names in the database. Now, I didn't find every single one of those people. Sometimes I found them in other places like Roots Web, or this might be, I might have gone to Roots Web. This is an important resource I haven't really talked about. They have a family tree, a world family tree project where people upload their family trees, and of course, they're all suspect as far as, knowing if they're not really referenced or sourced, but, let's go back. And if you, gotta go to the first page. So right now, I went to message boards, but when you're on the front page or here, you go down to, not message boards, you want World Connect Family main page. And then under advanced search, you can search for names. Let's look at Hinksman Roberts just for fun. Oops, it should be Roberts. And then unfortunately, spelling that name changes all the time. It could be Robbards. Okay, so here's Middletown, Hinksman, Robertson. In this website, if you see the orange thing, there's a pedigree, and if you see a blue thing, there's a descendant list. So I usually go for the one that has both the blue and the yellow, orange thing, and that has the most information in it. Like that one's got a place, it's got the most information in this profile right here. Place of birth, place of death, father, mother, and children. So let's look at him. And we will go, and it gives the information that they've gathered and who his children are. Hinksman Roberts is the son, and then his father was known as Hinchman Roberts. And we can click on Hinchman Roberts, and it'll tell us who his parents are. And you may know the answer to this one.
What's the question? Oh, no.
Who are the parents of
Yeah, no,
Hinchman Roberts?
I don't remember.
Okay,
Susanna Collins.
Susanna Collins is a parent.
Yeah.
So Susanna Collins is the daughter of Samuel Collins and Susanna Hinchman. And then these are children of Samuel Collins, Susanna Hinchman. And from this page, there's even more ancestors. Now, I kind of do it one at a time, but you also have the option of looking at a pedigree on the person whose page you're on, in this case Susan Collins, and it will pop up the tree of ancestors.
Good.
Right?
When you get to that twigs and branches,
Yeah.
how did you get there?
I just followed the name up. I clicked on a name over and over.
So you started with the family tree, and you clicked on a name, you got that, because I never, when I click on family tree, I get the family tree usually.
Oh, you had to go on pedigree.
Oh, pedigree, okay.
Okay, so that's as far as that one goes. Samuel Collins and Daniel Hinchman.
I ran into that today in the Harris file at the Historical Society.
This name?
Yeah, Susan Collins.
And the
I mean,
Hinchmans.
Susanna Hinchman.
Yeah. We were at the South Farm Cemetery today, and Hinksman, Mary, wife of Hinksman Roberts, we saw her tombstone. So now if we go back to where we were, or from here, you can do a descendancy chart, and it gives you something like this. In this case, the descendants of Susanna Collins, they've got 5 generations of names. Well, more. With 9 generations, 10 generations, when it gets down to living people, the names disappear. So some of my 15,000 names came from something like this. I found a person that might have been a Roberts, or the name changed, a female both. So Suzanne Collins, somewhere, there's a, Hinksman Roberts has a sister. It's not in this database, but her name was Prudence Roberts, or, well, one of the Roberts were, oh, here you go, Prudence Roberts and Alexander Bowe. So one of the Roberts married a Bowe, and that's why I'm interested in this family. But this particular tree doesn't go anywhere, so I wasn't that interested in it. What I'm interested in are who the descendants of Prudence Roberts and Alexander Bowe. This is Alexander III, not the original one. And I can't find it in this person's tree, but I can do another search under Prudence Roberts. And it'll come up with something that does have descendants in it. So I gathered from RootsWeb and took all these names and put them into the tree. So it's really shoddy genealogical work on my part to just copy that and put it into my tree. But that's how I find these people that are, you know, you go down in that list down to someone who died recently, find their obituary, find them on Find a Grave. Find the obituary, you can look them up in the census, you can see who their children are, you can take it down to 1940, and you're that much closer to finding a living person.
Did you say you have quite a Roberts database?
Yeah.
One of the, I was trying to find for a friend, a gal who belongs to this and can't find her person, and her gal was Eunice Roberts and married a Cornwell, and they have a son named Hart, H-A-R-T.
Yeah, I remember hearing
Can't
about
find
that.
Hart ever.
Well, we could try and do it. So,
That was birthday, and I've never seen anything more about him, neither has she.
like that, Hart Roberts,
It was actually Hart Cornwell.
there's Aiden Hart Roberts.
No, it was named Hart Cornwell.
Oh, Aiden Hart Cornwell?
Yeah, her.
Okay.
She was a Roberts, she married a Cornwell.
So this you would search, so you would want Hart
Well,
Cornwell.
see how to look, yeah, I see now how to look.
Let's let you modify it at the bottom of the page.
Put his last name in.
Hart Cornwell, and there's a Hart Cornwell,
There he is.
married to Eunice Roberts.
Yeah.
And there's a Hart Cornwell whose father is Cornelius Cornwell.
Yeah,
I
I
think it
think
just solved
that's-
your mystery.
That's what I think what she's trying to find out.
Well, let's see who this
I'll have to ask her if she's found this.
Hart Cornwell, who's Hart Cornwell? Can't tell much about this one. This has Hart Cornwell, Abigail Cornwell, let's see what it says. It's kind of funny that the mother's also Cornwell. I have a feeling they don't all
Cousin's
be.
married cousin, you know.
It could be, but she does have a father, Wade Cornwell. So we'll say Cornwell.
Well, that's,
Cornwell.
wait, is mine, yeah, mine's wait too.
Okay. So, it's called Ancestry, it's rootsweb.ancestry.com. And it's there, but I don't know if it's the right one.
Well, yeah.
But you grab these clues, you take these clues and you start looking them up in other places, and then that may be the answer.
I'll look for it.
Does anybody else have anybody else that they're wanting to figure out? What else have I got? We talked about RootsWeb, we talked about Family Search, we talked about Facebook, Pinterest, Wikipedia, Find a Grave, and YouTube. What other YouTube? There's just some other fun things on YouTube.
So usually you email these people or you
If I can get an email address, I
send
do.
them a message or something.
Right, now I'll ask them if they're interested in the family history.
Do you ever try to look up their current phone numbers and just phone them?
I tried that, but it's almost never accurate.
I Googled somebody one day, just Googled her. Got this interesting newspaper article about her.
Cool.
This is my mom and dad.
Oh.
Very nice.